Blackheart's Bay! So, a very rare map that we sometimes see these days, and I put it into the map pool for good reason. We got a bit of a highlight here. We got Gavlo's Gremlins going up against Exodia at this point. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. Meta Madness continues, as I already said. So again, we have now 16 heroes permabanned for the tournament. We're currently in the round robin phase, and every single hero can only be played once. In total, we got 2,000 euros of prize money on the line. Thanks again to people supporting Heroes Esports at patreon.com/Khaldor. Guys, wouldn't be possible without you. So clap yourself on the shoulder. You absolutely deserve it. If you guys want to check it out, become a supporter yourself. There's a link in the description if you watch it on YouTube, and you can go to patreon.com/Khaldor directly if you want to. So again, big shout out, and yeah, Meta Madness, pretty awesome. This series should also be a bit of a banger. We actually talked in the Twitch stream a little bit about it, and I'm kind of curious because of some of the responses that I saw. I spoke in some of the recent videos about how I had an accident with a bike. I fell a bit unlucky, hit my side here into the corner of a house wall, was suspected of broken ribs, went to the hospital, and turned out the ribs are thankfully not broken, but all of this is still swollen, numb, laughing hurts, coughing hurts, blowing my nose hurts, like everything that moving hurts. Like standing up in a lying bed is a nightmare. But we talked a little bit about on the Twitch stream, and it was kind of funny because people talked about, you know, like, take care of yourself. And I said, like, there's two aspects to it. One aspect is if a doctor tells me, hey, you need active recovery, do these exercises, I'm the best patient you ever had in your entire life. I do all of this to the maximum, all good. If you tell me rest and take it easy, I suck. I am so bad at it. Like, I always need something to do. I want to push the limit a little bit and get back into sports and training. So that's the first one, and I think some people might be able to identify with that. The second is, I can't be mothered when I'm sick. It doesn't matter if I have something like this or if I just am sick with, I don't know, the flu, COVID, whatever it may be. I want to be alone. If I need help, I'll ask. But people, you know, that hover over you, do you need something? Can I do something for you? Do you want something to eat? Something? Drives me insane. I need to suffer in silence, curse my life, feel sorry for myself, and that's how I get over stuff. And that's fine, but I don't want to push all that negative crap on other people. So, I don't know, I might be a little bit of an outlier there, but I think there might be a few out in the audience or here on YouTube that actually identify with that a bit too. But yeah, that's been a bit of a conversation point on the live stream as we talked about it. But well, with the game at hand right now, just like side stories aside for a moment, we have a really nice aggressive lineup currently for the Gremlins. I mean, they're starting off with Tyrael, Greymane, and Malfurion. Tracer was already banned. They banned it themselves. But this is a very aggressive move that they're now making. And Blackheart's Bay is a map that too many teams haven't really played. I actually talked to some of the teams themselves and I said, like, okay guys, what do you actually think about adding some maps? We test some stuff out, at least in the round robin. We can still adjust for the playoffs. But yeah, Blackhearts has seen a couple of changes as it was played. You have different chest spawns right now. The turn-ins work a little bit differently. They're generally faster. So you get more out of the objective. It's not quite as single focused on only the objective anymore. I'm not saying the map is mega balanced. It's now the best that it has ever been. But it's an interesting little twist to it. Small changes that might make it interesting just, you know, to have it as a bit of a side map. It's never going to replace something like Infernal Shrines, for example. It's not happening. So we get ETC and we get Tyrande. They're again opting for that very heavy stun combo, one into the next, with ETC Power Slide, Thrall, Wolves in, Tyrande coming through. So they can do a lot on this right now. They just need to have some good damage from Dino. So Dino needs to come in with somebody that can then really slap afterwards. Get that Orphea in or whatever, Jaina. Some other mage, anything that can really capitalize on the CC train that they're clearly trying to run. And we get the Vikings! Beautiful! Blackheart's Bay, and it is Viking time! I like it. It ain't easy to be cheesy, baby. And here we go. Vikings on Blackheart's Bay. Oh, beautiful first map. I love it already. This is awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dino with the last pick. What is he now going to take? We're getting Jimmy from him. Okay. Well, the stage is set for map number 1, the Gremlins and Exodia. Let's go. Exodia against Gremlins. On the left, you got the blue team with Dino on Reyna. Dequaza is playing Urel. We got Hazuops on Thrall. Bad Benny on ETC, and Yazu is playing Tyrande. Tyrande is actually somebody that, especially in the context of the Meta Madness rules, is super fun to watch here, and we've seen so many cool games. Again, we get the True Shot aura on level 1 for him. The Gremlins over on the right side with Nano on Liming. We got Gavlo and Greymane. Simply with Tyrael, Banana Adrian, Malfurion, and then Sadath playing the Vikings. And that's where things are getting real interesting, because Vikings could be super cool here. So we have now slightly different spawn positions for those chests. We have 3 now. We have also the option to really work it with Blackhearts. If you die, for example, you don't lose that many doubloons right now. Blackhearts initially needs a few less in order to complete the first turn-in. The turn-in itself is faster because Blackhearts is a little bit more greedy these days, so it just accepts them quicker. So you have a few adjustments that were generally made, and now we just have to figure out how the teams are going to try and play the map here. With you playing Vikings, you have to, of course, also consider how you can hold those lanes against other heroes. And the problem is always that when you're talking about Blackheart's Bay, Vikings to control the chests and make some other plays are important, but you also have to ensure that you're not losing too many structures without the use of the objective from the opponent. Especially in the early game, because once that the forts are gone, it's more difficult for the opponent to push against Vikings towards keeps, for example. But especially early on, if structures are very quickly lost, that is a problem as objectives are being used. So by now we have Blackhearts appearing. Nice root also against ETC, and good damage here in the middle as the first tower is destroyed. Double Viking play at the bottom of the map as Quasar with Urel is trying to run the show here. And currently he's doing that pretty well. Well enough that Gavlo decides that he has to help out and at least eliminate the Siege Giants. But we now have the neck. Oh! Vikings attacked and killed at the top as the chest is up, and it is doubloon time. Get the booty! Alright. Me hearties. So, level 4 kicks in, and we got 13 doubloons in total for Exodia, which means that they have a turn-in available, if they want it. It's always a bit tricky too if you start to grab doubloons with the Vikings, because then you have to be really, really careful. It's better if you have them on other heroes, and the Vikings are simply there to interrupt, for example, or just run the macro game. But currently, it's still the attempt in the middle. Obviously, those watchtowers are also quite new, give you more vision, more control. You can play the game a little bit more focused around, like, does my opponent turn in? Where are they positioning right now? Do we need to go towards the middle and defend here? So, full control will give you a lot of map control that they can use then to your advantage as the game continues. But, well, the Bloon camps have mostly been claimed. Now the turn-in starts to happen. Exodia gets the first one, so we have the barrage starting, and that should eliminate the fort in the middle. But there's a team fight breaking out too, and Greymane goes down. So, Greymane eliminated and losing some of the things he was holding there. Whereas we have the shots fired towards the middle, and this is obviously going to hurt. So, yep, that fort is going to be assailed. As we now have Sadath still busy at the bottom of the map. One doubloon still in the hands of Gavlo. As we already discussed a little bit earlier, you don't lose all of your doubloons anymore upon dying. Makes it a bit less snowbally, I'd say. Snowball is maybe the wrong word, but like the comeback potential here was just a bit too big. If your opponent has a lot of doubloons that he's holding, and then you win the team fight, and all of a sudden you run around with 30 doubloons, you get 30 turn-ins, or 3 turn-ins in a row, sorry. That's a little bit mad. But for now, we have level 7 kicking in. The red team is trying to turn in as well. They have enough to get a completed turn in if they are able to turn all of the doubloons in. And you know what? With Gavlo saying hello here, they are actually able to pull that off. Yeah. Nobody is going to be able to stop the final doubloon being handed in, which means that now with the entire damage that has been done in the mid lane, we're going to see the fort fall on the blue team side. Funnily enough, by the way, this one is still standing. So this one, with basically 0 hit points, is still standing over here. But the mid lane will be lost. There's another kill, though. The second one for Exodia. They snack up a few more doubloons that the Gremlins were holding, and they get the kill on Liming. But this one is gone, and a few more shots will then also be fired towards the top lane afterwards. So this is going to be targeted next. Down at the bottom of the map, Quasar successfully eliminated the wall, I might add, and is now escorting the Siege Giants in again. as the Vikings are just consistently trying to get themselves a couple of watchtowers that they can utilize. There's pressure play at the top too. If Serath is able to trigger the Inspire buff, this is going to do a lot. Yeah, comes in, and bam, Inspire buff triggered, so 35% additional attack speed for the minions. Is going to help them to take the wall out. Every single bit of structural damage matters. 3 stacks on Thrall. He's going to try and complete that, of course, as quickly as possible, but also has to be cautious that he doesn't take too many risks throwing those out. Balo gets dropped by Jimmy at the top, who, by the way, went for Exterminator here. So they are trying to use him as a bit of a doubloon machine, going from camp to camp and claim them quickly. Can also take the boss, of course, later with the help of the team. So that's another tool that they can use. It's a nice, interesting approach. Tyrael, though, dies in the middle. And now we have level 10 abilities with ETC coming in. There's no fort standing here anymore. But they are all able to get away. If ETC connects a slide here, then yeah, that's probably the end of at least one of those guys. Jimmy went also for Reyna's Raiders. We get the next barrage starting. This one again is going to target the top. The fort will not fall. Will drop low, but they're not going to be able to directly destroy it here. Jimmy still has to be kept at bay for just a moment. But it is a fairly even game still. The problem is the experience gap. 3 kills to 0 and a 1 level advantage is already indicating that Exodia is slowly starting to sneak ahead here. And that could become problematic. The red team, now that they have Judgment, the Bullet, and Li Ming for follow-ups, they need to really try and see if they cannot get themselves a kill here. Judgment was already attempted, but simply was a bit too close and then got interrupted, so set on a short cooldown. Was not able to get Judgment through, or this might have been the end of ETC. Would have at least threatened the kill. Second fort, by the way, I take it back. My bad. Second fort at the top has fallen. So, fort is gone. Now we have the chests up. They go for ETC and no way. ETC actually makes it. You're joking, right? I mean, nasty business here. Check this out. I can't believe that he made it. Tapped the fountain and is now re-engaging into the battle itself. Thrall with that Sundering definitely stopping from getting close enough, but even with that, I really thought that them chasing after him would guarantee his death. Not the case, and now the teams are back on the camps and trying to get additional doubloons to appease Blackhearts. 16 in the hands of Exodia, 10 in the hands of the Gremlins. Both have a chance at a turn-in now, and Jimmy is again utilizing his level 1 talent to get additional doubloons and also take mercenary camps that will push the lanes for them. So, yeah, everybody is starting to gather us up. Not a single kill yet for the Gremlins, which is another thing to obviously highlight here too. Need to be careful on that. Gremlins, the attempt, Gavlo is going for the Quasar. Good damage also coming in from Li Ming as Nano came through the side. The Vikings are still defending the top lane and are pushing a bit at the bottom of the map. But they're not fully engaging in the middle, which allows another turn-in for Exodia. That's a level 13 talent that they now have. Thrall is the one to deliver the final few doubloons. And we are still waiting for kill number 1 for the red team. Bottom fort is now going to be eliminated. And, well, after that, we're slowly looking at keeps getting attacked. So, on the damage side, we have Li Ming on 20,000. Same as Thrall. But the blue team is now slowly and steadily getting ahead here. And with Exterminator as the level 1 talent for Dainu, they are burning that boss down very, very quickly, for example. And that's another tool that can now be used by the blue team to push structures. Now, the red team, they are reacting well at the bottom of the map. They're just going for aggression. And they, with Greymane, can absolutely wreck this. So, on the one hand, it's great that Exodia got the boss. On the other hand, it really comes at a pretty big price, because it costs them the fort at the bot lane. So that's a problem. This fort is gone. Now, this topside push still has to be stopped, and it's not only the boss that they need to be concerned about. There's a second camp that is pushing with it. So it's a nicely set up double attack that we see from Exodia. And ETC, he can still stage dive in if he's needed in that fight. But Greymane in particular would love nothing more than going toe-to-toe in Worgen form with the boss and rip that thing apart. But the second he engages, he's instantly going to be attacked. Here's ETC coming in. Sundering. They want to go for Greymane. Li Ming, Greymane, and Malfurion are all gone. And that's 3 down which means the keep is going to fall here, and they might lose more than that. 7 kills to 0. The team is moving towards the core. They want to end the game right now. Vikings not even useful in that situation, and this is just not happening. Exodia with the perfect leverage in that fight. They used the boss and the camp to push to the top. ETC came in swinging. They knocked them out into the corner, took 3 down, and that's an easy victory right there. 8 kills to 0 as Exodia takes the lead in this series. GG. We're going to head in game number 2 in a second. Guys, if you enjoy the content, if you like the coverage here, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps to spread the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past and might rejoin the game. So spread the love a little bit, help to promote the games here, like and subscribe, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the series. Map number 2, Towers of Doom. So, the Gremlins lost with the Vikings. I would assume that the positive news is we at least saw a Viking game. On the other hand, it was a pretty short one, and I expected a little bit more out of it. And yeah, it was a bit of a shame that we didn't get that. Then again, right now we're going for our second map, which means 10 heroes have been played, cannot be played again currently. So we have the 16 banned completely down here. We have 10 eliminated because they were played on the first map, meaning 26 are currently off the board. And in addition, we'll of course get the bans in the draft itself. So after the loss from the Gremlins, they now really have to see, hey, what can we do against Exodia here? It's a pretty tight match. I mean, it's kind of the highlight of the play day, to be honest with you. And the Gremlins, they have been performing very, very well here. You have also a star-studded lineup on the side of Exodia. Some of the previous matches that they played, they maybe underperformed a little bit. But at this point, we'll actually see what exactly they can pull off. Because for the Gremlins, if they would go down, let's say like 3-0 here, that would be a huge setback. They want to do a lot more. They're aiming for the top in the leaderboard currently, so that they can get a really nice seeding into the playoff group, into the playoff bracket, so that they, for example, skip the first round. So this is a direct competitor that they're going up against. And game number 1, it just felt like their entire strategy didn't really work out. They didn't get a single kill. Missing a ban now too? I'm not really a fan of that, honestly. The entire tournament idea is that you don't miss bans or ban something that has already been banned. I already told that to some teams, but apparently I need to stress that again. Abathar as a first pick makes up for that, so I let that slide. But Abathar as a first pick on Towers of Doom is already a win in my book. A quick reminder, by the way, I haven't really specifically talked about it, I believe, in the first map. But I also want to remind everyone that in the round robin that we're playing out here, there are no best of 3s or best of 5s. We're playing out every single map. So each match contains 3 maps, no matter the result, and every win is a point for the leaderboard. So you can get a maximum of 3 points out of a match as a team. So even in game 3, whatever, you really have to bring your all. You can never just like say like, nah, we're already in the lead, we don't really care, or anything of the sort. Mirrodin Cassia starts us off with the red team. So Abathar, what are they trying to clone? If you play Abathar, you're trying to clone somebody. Ooh, Abathar Chen, that's already annoying. This is the fat Illidan version of the Abathar combo. So back in the day, it was really just like Abathar Illidan that was one of the strongest, most powerful ones. Now you have Chen, who is also mega tanky. I mean, if you ever seen like Chen with a symbiote jumping on you and you can't get away from it, it's super annoying. I still remember, by the way, once where we were in HGC, where we had an Abathar Mirrodin, and a team fight was basically lost, and then only Abathar and Mirrodin survived. The opponent also had lost a hero or two, and Mirrodin had Skullcracker. At this point, they were already way into the late game, and Abathar was just sitting there, providing the attack speed, providing the additional damage, providing the sustain, and Mirrodin just was unkillable and was obliterating everything around him, because those mini-stuns just kept happening, kept triggering, and every time they got him a bit low, he was sustained by Abathar, and the damage from the two of them in tandem was absolutely absurd. Then you had also the double Mirrodin stun then, so yeah, lots of fun there. Now Mirrodin in this case, of course, taken by the opponent, but Chen can also be a huge pain in a situation like that. Uther banned out, so they want to make sure that there's not an additional stun on the other side, and not the Divine Shield to save a target. especially, of course, when that bomb comes through. But as I highlighted, there is a bit of a shortage slowly happening in supports. Maybe not right now, but we're really getting to a point where if we get additional bans, pre-bans here for the upcoming weeks and for the playoffs, then supports are going to be at a premium, especially heading into game number 3, 4, 5, since in the playoffs we're going to have best of 5s mainly. Zul and Oriel now on the Gremlin side. So you have your wave clear on towers for sure. With Zul, he's going to be the one rotating between the top and the mid lane. But they still need some added damage on top of what they are getting with Cassia. Stukov and Mal'Ganis. Okay, so you got Mal'Ganis and Chen at the front. And can play this one out with Abathar helping. And Tracer Abathar is also pretty mean, by the way. If you're trying to get away from Tracer when she has Abathar there, that's like added damage on anyone that is attempting to escape you. So good luck running away from that after you lose a fight. That brings us to the final pick. And, well, with House of Doom being on our second map, what is the hope for the Gremlins? What are they going to try here? They go for Whitemane. So we have Oriel Whitemane right now. Double support with Cassia behind it. Well, let's go. Let's see if this works out for them. Towers of Doom, map number 2. Second game of the series. And we're ready to party with the king. With the only slug, the best slug, Slabathar. Hazob's playing Abathar for the blue team. We got Bad Benny on Mal'Ganis. Dino on Tracer. With Quasar playing the Eye of the Tiger on Chen. Yaz on Stukov. And then over on the right side of the map, we get our double support combo. Simply is playing Muradin. Then we have Nano on Oriel. That's an interesting one. Gavlo on Cassia. Sadath on Zul. And Banana H on Whitemane. So an Oriel Whitemane combo for the Gremlins as we're heading into Towers of Doom. This is going to get interesting. Zul can do a lot of damage in team fights, of course, as well, if you are able to keep him alive. So that could also be a nice tool for them. We have, after all, on the other side, I mean, we got Abathar there, but we also have with Chen and with Mal'Ganis some really hit point heavy frontliners. Stormbolt connects, and Dino is still able to get away here. Gets the assistance from Abathar, of course, too. On level 1, we already have the pressurized glance, which is likely going to be the focus of the entire build here for them. Down at the bot lane, nobody doing anything just now because everybody is just focusing on kills. In the middle, Mal'Ganis falls. At the top, Zul has been killed. So everybody just keeps pushing and being aggressive, which results in the first tower getting dropped by Exodia. They already have the lead here, 1 point for the leaderboard, and they're aiming for more. Next attack coming up as we have the Panda still lingering around as the red team defends. But down at the bottom of the map, Oriel now doing her own thing here. With talents, we got Searing Light on level 1. We got Pity the Frail for Whitemane. Tracer is, of course, going to rush around throughout the game. Dino is going to be pretty happy with this. Can just zip in, zip out, get some assistance from Abathar as the symbiote comes together and harass the backline, for example. It's all about, of course, trying to break through the sustain of the red team. And in this case, it was Mal'Ganis. There was a bit too far out. Muradin jumps in and steals the camp away. Nicely done. Yeah, they're happy about this for sure. The Gremlins, they come through, steal the pumpkins, and are netting themselves a kill on top of that too. Honestly, doesn't really get much better than that. So, great situation for them. Now they just have to start building on it. Bit of a leading experience, early level 4 talent. Question is just simply what can you do with it. Yeah, Chen gets, as expected, the assist of the symbiote too. Again, is basically the Illidan variation right there. We have Stukov assisting him up at the top. Down at the bottom of the map, though, mad pressure from the red team as they're breaking through the wall there. Mal'Ganis is starting to move in, but he's all alone. Tracer starting to help him out. The problem for the blue team is, of course, also that they don't have another buddy on the map. They have to wait for Abathar to get his level 10. Once a level 10 is there and he is able to use his copy, then the situation changes a little bit. But for now, yeah, that's not quite what we're getting here. So, in this case, we have Nano starting to rush around here. We have the next camp being targeted. So, they're starting for their own pumpkins now. Top side, Zul, he's in mad trouble, but Sadath gets out with 20 HP, less than 20 actually. So the blue team missed out on a kill there. They are able to go for the wall though. It's a triple altar phase that is up right now, and the two tanks here are going to negate each other, and therefore it's more of a question what's happening up at the top. And with Chen getting pushed into a corner, Quasar is dead. Chen is gone, and that is trouble. They at least got the altar on the left side, which was important, because I think if they don't lock that in right then and there, then we very, very likely have an attempt by the Gremlins to go for the full triple. And they're already going for Tracer. Dino was too greedy, thought that he couldn't interrupt further, buy more time, and all that he ends up doing is dying as pumpkins are crushing into the bell tower at the bottom of the map. First altar channeled now by the red team. They still aim for the one in the middle. Tracer's back in 4 seconds, and the blue team could actually buy enough time to make that a thing. So they're going to try here. We have Banana H channeling though. Level 7 is also going to give them a bit of an advantage on this. And as again, for Exodia, it's important that they're making it to level 10 first. Then they can pick their battles way better than before. But they still have to, of course, coordinate around the copy of Abathar. It's not the only tool that they have, but it's definitely the strongest. So, with that, Nano, again, attacked here. That Lurking Arm can be disastrous in these choke points. The 2 supports don't do anything for you if you can't support anybody, because you can't use anything. But Tracer is split from the rest of the team and mega low. Nano gets killed, though. And, yeah, White Main, Banana H was not quite focused on that fight. Wanted the Tracer kill, couldn't get it. Now Oriel is dead, and so is Zul. They're trying to take Bad Benny out, and Benny doesn't die. Benny just doesn't die. They lose White Main too. Tracer gets murdered. Finally, Benny gets killed, but boy, oh boy, was that a slaughter. 6 kills to 5 now, all in all, and phew, that one got wild. Abathar, of course, helping out throughout the entire fight, but it was just kill after kill after kill here. The blue team all of a sudden in the lead in experience. And, yeah, we now have Chen hovering over on the side, waiting for Zul to make his way towards the top lane. But he's taking the very safe path, doesn't want to get attacked and fall victim to anybody in this. It would have been amazing, by the way, if Benny just survived through all of it. He died extremely late, and his survival for such a long time drew tons of resources from the Gremlins. So this was a win in and of itself. But yeah, it's just a little bit bonkers to consider that he didn't get crushed way earlier in the fight. Melganis sometimes is just insane. Right now, Chen, with the help of Abathar, came to the top and jumped in to take Zul down. So good for Quasar. Down at the bottom of the map, we now have the double Melganis as one team hits level 10 abilities. And Abathar copies the only hero that was at the time at the bot lane. But we have one altar already channeled. So now it's 28 to 32 points on the core. And yeah, Hazu loses the copy here. That one gets burned down. Each team walked away with one of the altars. They're going to be fine here. We have on level 10 Playmaker for the Gremlins. So he goes straight into it with Muradin. And yeah, Crystal Aegis is out. And we have, of course, White Main. In this case, I don't even mind that Muradin goes for the way more aggressive version of his ult, just simply because he has 2 supports behind him. So that definitely leads to you being able to just be a bit more aggressive. Talk about aggression. While this aggression at the bot lane just keeps playing out, Zul is having trouble top lane. He's getting double teamed all the time, and he died again. So Zul gets targeted over and over again. And let's not forget, with Stukov helping out at the top, assisting with a kill from Chen against Zul, you also have Abathar that just provides a quick symbiote, and all of a sudden Zul is essentially outmatched 1 versus 3 and has trouble holding that lane. So that's the beauty of having somebody as versatile as Abathar in these situations. Bottom of the map, Dino is still getting attacked here. And talking about damage, I mean, Dino on Tracer is sitting at 12,000, but Abathar is already at 19k. 26,000 for Cassia. Good for her, but they need way more if they want to turn the tides here. Ult misses, and yeah, they were a bit desperate to try and get the kill, but they are losing ground, especially at the top lane, as you can see, the bell tower being claimed now by Chen. So that's the first one in the game that falls. 7 kills, 2-6. And down at the bottom, with the help of Abathar, they're just muling up the damage that was dished out earlier on the bottom left bell tower. So that's a problem. 13 talents, ready. And with that, we now have Soma Transference in. Attack over to the right side. Banana H in trouble. Mad heals. There's the Aegis. Lurking Arm as they're still going for Banana, and eventually he dies. It's just too much to handle. The chase is on. They want the supports. Nano with another heal, but it's at the end of the day simply not enough to keep him in play, and Cassia falls too. So all of a sudden, we have 3 heroes eliminated, 3 dead, 10 kills to 6, and Exodia is building up momentum in the game, and a lot of it. 1 bell tower is already converted over. They're getting the channel through Stukov in the middle. That's 5 shots fired against the red team, and for the first time in this game, they now pull ahead on core points, 28-27, with an easy camp that they can grab as well. Zul, he is going to try and retake at the top. Setup is already there, will burn the minions down as they come. Abathar, again, can still mule this up. If they are able to send somebody topside to defend this, Abathar, with his mule, can use that there and make sure that it's going to be harder and harder for them to reclaim. Should be able to do it eventually, but the more time you have to spend on it, the more time you, of course, lose to do other things on the map, like taking the initiative yourself. 2-level advantage still. Dino dodging out on the storm bolts here. And again, it's not really working for the red team. They're trying, but it's not really flowing together for them at all. Last few fights have been a problem. Quasar, though, again, Stormbolt not connecting. And then jumping away, utilizing the boss to get a bit of distance between himself and the rest of the opponent. Cassia with 31,000 damage, now the top damage dealer in the game. And, well, there comes the mule. And here's Chen. So they're trying to, again, waste their time as best as they can by simply using Abathar to build up a few more of these hit points. And down at the bottom of the map, the fight is also playing out with Abathar jumping through with the symbiote. So he's assisting at the top, he's assisting down at the bottom of the map. They're going for Muradin, the double support behind it with 1 heal after another. Benny, can he survive? And the answer is apparently yes. The ult of Cassia, again, going nowhere. Those Valkyries just not hitting home hard enough. They still try to go for the camp, but the red team should at least get that. So they are able to get the camp, and they want Benny, and they grab him. Benny is gone, and now the Stormbolt finally connecting. They're trying to get Yasuo. Big shove, and Muradin nearly died because of it. Stukov is still alive. They got a double Stukov right now for the extra heals and sustain, but Whitemane, boah, Cassia goes down, but at least they have Whitemane still in the game. The problem is that now they're being chased. They take the copy out. Abathar can still support with the symbiote. Another shove, but Stukov falls. So did Zul, though. And I guess Dino. Whoa. 30 hit points and he makes it out. Boy, I would be mad. I would be livid at this point. Stormbolt against Chen, though. Chen trying to get away here. Quasar doesn't have the keg up, but he has the movement speed and is able to rush out as the blue team picks up level 16 and is muling out the damage at the bottom fort, at the bottom bell tower once more. It's such an annoying game for the Gremlins. They wanted to be the annoying ones with the double support, and it just turns against them because of Abathar. So now Whitemane is gone. That's kill number 13, and this is just starting to get a little bit mad. Tracer is at 39,000 damage. We got Cassia at 39,000 damage. At least they took the bell tower back at the top. But it's now 28 points on the core against 22. And the last fights, again, they didn't go well for the Gremlins. They stole a camp. But then afterwards, they started to lose control over the team fight and lost it. And that, of course, allowed for a very, very easy camp to be now claimed too by Exodia. They just stole their own away. Muradin is the only one that hasn't died yet on, well, basically in the game, besides Abathar, who of course usually walks away with 0 deaths unless you have somebody super mobile that can jump behind gates and take him down. But the next altar phase is spawning with 3. They want that bell tower, by the way. They really do. God, Abathar is so annoying. Just mules all the time. And can they claim this? It doesn't really look like it. Zul is still sitting in the middle. Nano. They try the heals. These lurking arms are just super brutal for them. Big heal. That was a big one. Zul is trying to take the top right. He'll be able to take it, but what's about the fight at the bottom of the map? Abathar's going to help out here. They focus again on the 2 supports. The sustain is insane. Dino is low, but he's able to get away, and that's Auriel gone. Zul is trying to take the 2 bell towers, the 2 altars at the top. Banana Age is low, they're going to lose everybody here. It's just a matter of time. With Abathar assisting, it's just a matter of time. And Abathar, yeah, he's dead. Abathar gets killed, and there's the channel. But as expected, everybody down at the bottom of the map gets destroyed, and Yasuo gets the channel. Now, on the one hand, you have a team that lost 4 heroes. On the other hand, the red team got themselves 2 of the altars. And Hazu is a little bit ambitious to try and interrupt Zul the way that he did. Moving out like that, Zul instantly saw that and just dropped his ult and the prisoners on him and just said like, yeah, sorry, the skeleton mages, and just like, nope, dude. Like, you're dead. So Abathar is indeed gone, 17 kills to 9. But with all of the heroes eliminated on the red team side, or most of them, we now have the bell tower falling at the bottom right. So, yeah, more control. More control for Exodia. 20 points to 18. And the biggest issue is, I guess, the difference in experience that we just simply have here. I mean, look at the difference in minion experience and hero experience. It's crazy. So, yes, they will hit an early level 20 unless the Gremlins are able to win some big fights. And once they have 20, they have full control. And this is brutal already, as is. I mean, just look at this. Half a level until they have Storm Talents. Abathar can help them get experience on the lanes. These Valkyries are just not coming together in this game. Gavlo is not having a lot of luck with those Valkyries. In this case, just stopped by the bell tower itself. They want isolation plays and they can't make it happen. If they get a good Valkyrie and follow it up with a Haymaker from Simply, can you just imagine how tricky that is for the target? Especially if it happens around the death zone down here. But it's just not the case right now. So we have the altars activating. Zul is trying to get one, but Chen is already on the way. And 20 is so close. Abathar is assisting them wherever he can in the middle of these lanes to get a bit more experience here. By now at the top right, the fight is breaking out and we have Hive Mind. 20 is now available. Hive Mind is in and here comes the attack. Tracer isn't even with them yet and they're already pushing them back with ease. Yeah, sleep all around. They're starting to jump in. There's the Keck, create some space. 5 shots fired, easy peasy. And then they can move over towards the left side and get the channel here, which Hazu does himself with Abathar. So the King, the Slug, is getting the next 5 shots for the team, and that puts them now down to 8 points on the core. That's where we're at. 8 points. You grab the boss now, and you get an altar later on, and this map is yours. And with the red team showing up at the bottom of the map to get the bell tower back, of course they go for the boss. They should. They do. And nobody contests it. They can't. You're 2 levels behind. You're a Storm Talent behind. So it's an easy boss for the blue team. And that's now 4 points on the core for the Gremlins. The Gremlins are with the back to the wall. They need something. Well, first they need a level 20. And then they need to win team fights. But that has been the problem for the last 5 minutes. And it just doesn't seem to be happening. We have Cassia with great damage. I mean, you look at the raw damage numbers. This is not bad. They got kills too. They just don't get the fights that they want. Especially not syncing up the ults that they're trying to utilize. Now they are going more into a 5 versus 5 with Zul realizing, hey, I need to come in with the rest of the team. They had him on the top lane for a long time. He got value. He got altars. But now the attack against Whitemane. The double support is just not giving them as much sustain as they were hoping for. That's one of the biggest issues. Benny is again in trouble. This time he goes down, so that's at least a kill for a kill. Valkyrie again. Zoning Valkyrie, zoning Stormbolt, and then Yasuo just with a get out of here play. But at least they get Tracer. Tracer at least gets dropped. And that's good news for the Gremlins. If they get a bell tower here, then a single altar channel for Exodia is not going to do the trick anymore. So this is actually really big. If they can get this one, that's huge for them. They can fight another day, even if they lose an altar right now. But considering that 2 heroes are dead, they will most likely get the 2 of them. It's comeback time. They have level 20 now. That gives us Diamond Resolve, Rewind, and we also got Kalan's Edict here. But the shots are fired, and that is 10 points to 4. This is all of a sudden much more doable. Those were 10 points off the core right there. Now the retake at the top right. They go for it. They should. They do. And they take it down. But still, 18 kills to 11. We have a game on our hand all of a sudden again. 6 points. You can bridge that. You win another team fight and you're right there. This time the Stormbolt connects and Yasuo gets caught. Can they finally get a kill here? Now they have Stukov exactly where they want them. And they should be able to take him. Yasuo is on the run. There is no way he can escape right now. They're gonna get him. They're going to get him. And that is a staggered death. He's down for 60 seconds. Just as the rest comes back. Mal'Ganis is back. Tracer is back. And their support is now done for. That's a disaster for Exodia. That's really bad. Yeah, simply doesn't lock the Stormbolt in here. Everybody else was moving back too. They want the control back. They want the bell tower. They know that the bottom left is going to be taken eventually, so this top lane is pretty important for them. But yeah, this is getting... Now it's getting a bit crazy. Now it's getting wild. 80,000 damage for Cassia. 75,000 for Tracer. They're exchanging bell towers. Don't think they can defend down here. But we have a double altar coming up. Stukov will be back by the time that this is a thing. Now again, keep in mind, as it stands right now, one altar wins the game for Exodia. You gotta be careful that Abathar doesn't try and sneak this one, by the way. Just saying. But they are just mounting up their aggression, their defense over on the left side. Zul is already channeling the first one. And they're going to be able to grab that. And then they can just focus everything on the remaining altar. There's Aegis. Nice aggression. But they keep everyone alive. Stukov. They want him. He couldn't get past. He didn't have the cooldown ready for Playmaker here. But nice damage against Stukov at least. Stukov is still in trouble. Stukov is gone. Stukov is dead. Their comeback, baby. It's right there. It's right there. Now the double support can reign supreme here. They got the choke point control. And the best tool to break it with Lurking Arm is now dead. 3 points on the core. They get it. And that is game. That is game. The Gremlins with victory in game number 2 against Exodia. GG. Coming up next, we have game number 3 for you guys. Before we go, a big shout out to everybody that is supporting the channel on patreon.com/Khaldor. Really appreciate the support, guys. Thank you very, very much. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene live with all of the events and tournaments that we're hosting, then please consider to check out patreon.com/Khaldor and support the channel there. It's the best way to support all of the things that we're currently doing for the scene and plan to do in the future. With that being said, enjoy the next game of the series. Infernal Shrines, third map. Now, as I said before, these two teams are direct competitors currently. So we have the number 2 going up against the number 3. And it should actually get quite interesting here now because, well, who is taking it? Currently in the ranking, the Gremlins are a little bit ahead over Exodia. So if they now lock in another win here, they would establish that position a bit more. Exodia is obviously trying to attack the top 2 with the plays that they're currently making. So yeah, they're just going for it. We'll see if it works for them. Currently, 20 heroes are unavailable because they were played. Then we have the 16 that are banned for the entire event. And of course, 6 more coming through the bans in the draft. So we're looking at a very, very big share of heroes that are already out. Nearly 40 in total that are now removed from this. Actually more, so sorry. 16 have banned, 6 here, so 42 in total. So yeah, this should get interesting, especially now with also more supports being banned. Keep in mind, we just had a double support team on the side of the Gremlins. Now Lucio gets banned. If they are banning out more supports through this could get interesting. I think Uther is still up. Alexstrasza should still be up, if I remember correctly. We have Morales. We got Lily. We got a couple. Don't get me wrong. Not saying we don't have any supports left. I'm just saying that if a team now starts to ban out more and more supports, maybe pick an early double support for themselves, they're really forcing the hand of the opponent. The question is, of course, still, can they make that work and are they willing to make those sacrifices? In this case, for example, the answer is no. They're banning Lucio, but they also get rid of Diablo. So they're not trying to ban anything out. Since they have first pick, they could have gone into a support first pick very easily. Exodia is not going to ban one. They want to have more options for themselves. At least I wouldn't expect it here. So now you really have to try and figure out a bit, what does my opponent want, what's still available, and what are they looking for here. I mean, in this case, with Maiev already banned and now getting rid of Mephisto's Infernal Shrines after all, so you want to have a mage, you want to have some AoE damage. Mephisto is somebody that brings that and a lot of damage against Heroes in those team fights. Once you have the close quarter battles on the objective itself, there's a lot that he can do with it. That's the reason why Gul'dan is getting first picked, even though we could have seen an earlier support play. But yeah, Gul'dan is in. And that brings immediately the question what Exodia is now going to grab for themselves. I personally would expect the support. If not, then I think if you're the Gremlins, you can literally go for a support for yourself. Maybe even try and see, can we play some kind of double support with Gul'dan and then ban another one out, and you make it really tricky for Exodia. So here comes the Nubarak, and we get Leo. I might have... There is a chance that I forgot... Karazim is also still available. Okay, so there's a few that I haven't even thought about. Alright. We have a few more available. But imagine this being game 4 or 5. Just saying. So, yeah, if you have teams play double support or then ban a couple out, that could be pretty wild. So, Gul'dan. We get Samuro. He was banned previously. Now finally we have him on Infernal Shrines. Exodia was not worried about him. Ooh, and Banana plays Ana. I mean, I could now tell you again about Banana's Ana and the problem if Banana's Ana runs out of mana, but usually Ana doesn't run out of mana when Banana plays Ana, so I'm gonna spare you that today. We don't have to go into that every time. People know by now that Banana's Ana is pretty bananas, which is why a lot of teams ban Ana against Banana. Yeah, but we'll skip that for the day. Ban on Arthurs. It's actually a little bit of a shame. I would love to see Arthurs here. So, another support, by the way, that I forgot. We'll see some support jokes happening in the playoffs, though. Very, very sure about that. Now, what's the final ban? We already know Samuro, Gul'dan at the front. They're going full smog on this. They could go triple front line even with all of what they're currently trying to do. But our final ban falls that. Kind of wild that he's still available, but of course he would still give some global presence to the teams. So that's one thing that we definitely are trying to avoid. And someone like Ana doesn't really like to get flanked by a gust from Falstad and then pushed into a team fight. So she usually attempts to stay far back. And yeah, positioning is everything. Nubarak is already annoying, so is Leoric. So Banana feels he can deal with both of them. But adding Falstad to the mix is probably a bit too much. Also, Cocoon Gust and Entomb Gust are nice combos as well. Another thing that they're trying to avoid here. We still get more and more CC though from Exodia. By now we have Kerrigan and we have Deckard Cain. So you have essentially every single hero on your lineup currently contributing some kind of CC that they can use here. So yeah, it's a lot right now. Now, that brings us to our final picks for the Gremlins. And we have Varian as the main tank now. And we get Malthael. So you have the triple frontline as expected. That could also give us a nano-boosted Malthael with Tormented Souls. So it's not guaranteed to be last rights for Malthael here. If you have a nano-boosted Tormented Souls on Infernal Shrines, on the shrines themselves, that can be insane. So they have options now, is just what I'm saying. That leaves us with a final pick for the blue team. Already very, very strong setup that they're running here. Very stun heavy, very CC heavy. And we get Probius as the final choice. Not shabby for Infernal Shrines, given where we're at right now in this match. Map number 3. But hey, let's see what the probe can do. Infernal Shrines, ladies and gentlemen. Our third and final map between the Gremlins and Exodia. Game number 3, the final map between the two teams as we see Hazorps on Probius for the blue team, Dequaza on Leoric. Dino is playing Kerrigan in the final map here on Infernal Shrines. On top of that, we currently have Nubarak played by Bad Benny. We're getting, well, Yazu on Deckard Cain, so lots of CC for the blue team. And then over on the right side, we get Simply on Varian, Nano on Gul'dan. Gavlo is playing Malthael. There are a couple of options for him playing together with Ana here, played by Banana. And we got Sadath on Samuro. So, it's a bit of a wild draft that we get. Level 1, Echo Pulse for Probius. Samuro's immediately up at the top line. At the top lane, riding his green color sync cloud. And, oh! Yeah, Probius is gone. Okay, that's the first kill right there. They thought they could go for a kill on on Varian, and it quickly turned against the probe. So that was the end of Hazorbs. Hazorbs gets killed. Nice little play by the Gremlins to set this up. And again, a reminder that in the leaderboard right now, they are a bit ahead. So they are slightly ahead. Can they pull further ahead here? That's the question. Or is it going to be Exodia that really starts to attack this position, which I guess they're already doing. Even if they lose this map here, it's not like they're out of the run for a top 2 spot. Pursuit of Flame on 7 stacks now. We got also Way of Illusion for Samuro. Full fight for that bottom camp here. Damn, and they're going all ham on it. Oh my god. Full commitment. Dino, the first one to die. Samuro now on the way. Ana gets murdered by Leoric. And the camp claimed by the blue team. Samuro came too late to help out. So it's a trade in kills. But the camp gets taken by Exodia. Ana, yeah, she was trying to get away here. She's not just spring spry chicken anymore. She's a little bit more on the older side. So she needs, yeah, it's just like... She was trying to waddle away there, but there was just no helping it. Leo is only skin and bones in the first place, but even he was able to outpace her. Very nice play by Sadat at the top to avoid the stun, so neat little move by him to apply more pressure to Dino. I like it. And, well, while that played out, we now still have a leading experience for Exodia that translated into an early level 4 talent. Obviously, very small advantages right now that the teams are fighting for. Probis is already setting up at the bottom of the map a bit and trying to bait. But they have Varian coming in, and they got level 4 now. They taunt the old man and body block him into oblivion, but Deckard Cain gets the heals out, and all of a sudden it turned on Malthael, who nearly died and might still fall. Gavlo slowed, able to get out, but they could not get Deckard Cain. The old geezer made it, and the entire counter trap that they said worked out, yeah, not all that well. They were close. They were very close to taking down Deckard, but it didn't happen. So now we have 2 kills to 1. First objective is spawning, and that's where I think the real fight now is starting to break out. It's going to be a fairly interesting one, though, because we have so much control here. Specifically when you're thinking about Carrigan, about all of the stuns that they have now here, too. So, well, okay, don't think about Carrigan too much, because she's the first one that gets targeted and then instantly dies. So Carrigan is gone. Gul'dan able to get the kill, and that upsets the entire balance that we had here. Probius already moved down to the bottom of the map and has abandoned the position in the middle. 3 kills to 1, and now they can start to try and get themselves the Punisher, and of course, in an ideal world, even more kills, just attempting to utilize the level 4 talent of Varian a little bit further. The cooldown is already back. My biggest question for later on in the game is going to be, what will be the level 10 ability for Malthael, for example. Malthael right now on level 1 with Death's Reach and went into Massacre, so it's... Oh, Varian gone, so Tormented Soul seems very likely here. Varian gone, and it seems like the blue team has not given up on this yet. Now, they are close to losing it, 38 points, but Malthael is also dead, so they got 2 kills then later on. Not bad. Instead of just giving up on the position, they got 2 kills out of this, and now it's 3 kills to 3, but they of course still lost the objective. They will defend well here. Since the last patch, you can't bait those Punishers over the wall anymore, so some value is going to be there no matter what. They go for Carrigan again at the bottom of the map, and Dino dies again. Yeah, they really like to take her out here. Whenever you see her pick, the question is always, can Carrigan carry again? And today that doesn't seem to be the case. Apparently she didn't put on the big boy boots and the backpack. Lived through the knees, baby, but somebody skipped leg day. So Carrigan is not carrying anything right now. Instead, she's getting killed quite reliably, and Yasu is also in trouble, and he's not going to make it either. Or is he? Nah, he's not. Malthael has his number. It's actually Ana that got the final hit in. So it's a bit of an... Is that elder abuse? When Ana kills Deckard Cain? Is that legit? Or do we have to be outraged about it? You never know these days. Who's older? I think Deckard Cain is older, right? Deckard Cain has to be older. He's older. The man lived centuries, I think. But yeah. Photon Barrier on level 4. Tower Defense on level 7. Early level 10 for the Gremlins. And the Gremlins will then be able to maybe push down at the bottom of the map. They're already setting up for this. We have Nano Boost as expected. We get the Illusion Master. And, yep. Ah, it's Last Rites. Okay. Last Rites for Malthael. You can definitely still boost that, but also, of course, Gul'dan. And Entomb on the other side. No surprises here. Probius comes in with the Pylon Overcharge. Kerrigan, I mean, it's gotta be an Ultralisk. There's no way he goes Maelstrom, right? Nah, it's a bit sad. Would have been funny. But yes, Ultralisk is like the talent on Kerrigan. I can't even remember when I've seen a Maelstrom the last time, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Tomorrow at the top. Still getting some pressure. At the bottom of the map, they go for Nano and Kerrigan with a little bit of value here. They get the Cocoon on Malthael and can now try and make a play for him. He still has Last Rites. If anybody drops low enough, he might be able to get a kill. And he drops them really low. And that's the hit right there. Malthael takes down Kerrigan. They lose Anna and Varian. But Gavlo is still alive. Tries to retreat. And Samuro is still sitting at the top lane, fighting against Leoric and trying to get value there. But right now, worst stack for Malthael. Malthael at least has a stack at this point. We have level 11 versus level 11, 6 kills to 6. I mean, they're all fighting for that last map like crazy. It's a big battle for the top of the leaderboard. They want to have a good position when they head into the playoffs. They want to get the better seeding here. And, yeah, top fort halfway gone. Structurally, we still have a slight advantage for the red team. And in the meantime, of course, we are now looking at camps again claimed. This time it's the top lane that everybody is going to be fighting for. 18,000 damage for Probius, 24,000 for Samuro. Yeah, and Simply is trying to go for a bit of a trap here, which so far hasn't really worked. Kerrigan died 4 times. I mean, damn. To be fair, Dino is the first one in the fight. He is the one that tries to make the engage happen. Yeah, now they're engaging on Varian. Stun, 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 stun. Might as well take your hands off the keyboard there. Varian tries to get out. Last rites on Benny. He gets away. And Varian doesn't. The cocoon on Gavlo. They couldn't even get the kill with last rites. Now Anna is dead too. And here comes the dive from an Uberak as they hope to take out Malthael. Samuro is dropped. Malthael makes it out of the fight. But that is now 3 additional kills for Exodia. And they take control of that top lane, pushing through towards the fort and using Leoric on the objective to get themselves one of the Punishers. Down at the bottom of the map, Kerrigan is already looking for additional experience for the team. We have Shield Battery for Probius. Kerrigan went, of course, with the Chrysalis. And the fort is gone, meaning the fountain is eliminated too. Gremlins already back on the map, but again, they can't really do a whole lot. Now it's a level advantage that we're seeing for Exodia, and they haven't even utilized the Punisher that they will definitely get. Can pressure for some other lanes while the Punisher is going for the keep, for example. Kerrigan with the combo. They try for Samuro, and they're gonna get him. Oh, what? Sadath, you sneaky little devil. Sadath is able to get out, and yeah, it's a nice trap regardless. Frozen Punisher at the top lane now. Probius pushing in the middle. The Probe wants a W today. The Probe wants a victory. Malthael is the only defender currently. Nobody's pushing with this. Everybody's focused onto the mid lane instead. Probius is just sieging up here. And Dino is hoping for someone to step out just a tiny little bit too much so that he can jump in and get a combo. And then murder them. And, I mean, again, there's a huge threat level. Once that your Kerrigan combo hits hard and the follow-up is there, you will be murdered. You will be toasted. So, yeah, this one hasn't really accomplished too much outside of drawing attention to the top lane. Still only 1 fort advantage for them. And Sadath is still being annoying on this, as much as he can. I mean, Samuro, they're starting to catch up a little bit. It's a half-level gap between the two teams, so the experience gap got closed at least a little bit. They go for Benny again. Anubarak is diving out, and yeah, they pushed him off for now. But Gavlo might be in trouble here. Okay, so much for that. Might be in trouble is, I think, a little bit of an understatement. He just disappeared into a puff of smoke. The Gremlins were hoping to get a fight before level 16 talents are there. But yeah, Gavlo then all of a sudden just disappeared on Marcel. One moment he was there, the next one it was just like poof, and he's gone. Same for Gul'dan right now. Simply, I got news for you, you're not gonna make it, my friend. Simply is dead, and that is now 12 kills to 6. So the last few minutes have severely changed the momentum in this game. Sadath is gonna get value with Samura at the top lane as he destroys the fort, but the one in the middle is also getting dropped. So the Gremlins are taking this one out. And that's the second one. And now we have Leoric down at the bottom of the map to deliver the third. So that is a 1 level advantage, a bit more than that even, for Exodia. And they have taken control of this game. The consistent talent lead that they seem to be maintaining, it's now being negated in a moment. But around a lot of the key fights, we had them slightly ahead. For the next objective, it's going to be even talents at least. So the next objective is going to be super important for the Gremlins. It's going to be one where they have to make sure that they're going to get some value. Because if they don't, they are in danger of losing their first keep in the game. And all they've done so far is take out a single fort at the top lane. 32,000 damage for Kerrigan. Dino is starting to warm up apparently. Maybe he finally found his backpack and the big boy boots. So that he can carry the team a little bit. Last few fights were way better for him. Initially they farmed him. Right now Kerrigan is a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, they want the camp, they're gonna get the camp. So they're not giving them everything. There's a dive attempt on Samuro. And Sadath is just saying like, nope, not on my watch boys, I'm out. I already smelled you from a mile away. Take a shower, Benny. 12 kills to 6, 1 level advantage. Shrine activating at the bottom of the map. Moment of truth. You lose here, your opponent is going to push. And by the way, it could even get worse. If the Gremlins now lose a fight early, there's a chance that Exodia is going to extend the objective until they hit level 20. Talking about fights. Up at the top, Samuro has to abandon the camp. So that's an important one that gets taken. Varian is already anchoring the play over on the left side, as the red team is at least taking the lead on some of these hits. But yeah, Varian is slowly starting to look for targets. Dino has to be careful too. Is not entering into the bush before he sees Varian move here. But now the fight is starting to rank up and we have 18, 21 to 11 stacks. Samuro getting pressured again. Cocoon, lots of ult still ready here. Watching out for that last rights play from Malthael, of course, as well as Nano is getting the damage out from behind with Gul'dan, one hit after another, relying on the AoE, but it's the red team that pulls further and further ahead on the objective. Their play for Nubarak, Benny pushed back, re-engages, tries to get the stun, Leo with the drain fail, and in comes Ana. More heals, Cocoon and the Entomb used at the same time. Definitely having problems with the synergy here. Sadath dies though. Sadath dies and Nubarak gets killed by Malthael. The Arcane Punisher, unbelievable. Exodia actually grabbed it. Exodia grabbed it and the top keep is about to fall. Top keep is falling against the double Shaman camp. Down at the bottom of the map, Malthael now dead, Kerrigan dead. But again, they grabbed the Punisher away from them. Now they're about to hit level 20. And the top keep has just been destroyed. The lanes are falling apart for the Gremlins. Bot lane attack with the Arcane Punisher. Only 3 defenders. Then again, only 3 attackers. How much can they get here? Probe is still there. They got the sustain from Deckard Cain. They had to also annihilate those 2 Shaman camps pushing through the top as they were threatening the shield on the core. But it's 2 seconds on Samuro, 16 on Malthael. They keep no chance. Catapults lining up on it as well, we speak. Probius pushing, 44,000 damage for the probe now. And it's just more than enough damage. 2 keeps are now missing on the side of the Gremlins. Exodia, they're trying for another kill. Leo went too deep and he dies. Nearly got the kill for them. Was so close. But, well, Core lost a few hit points too, down to 92%. The level 20 advantage still there. Samuro is chasing, not able to get anyone, but damn. 53,000 damage now for Probius. Top damage in the game. Construct additional pylons on 20. We got Respect the Elderly on Deckard Cain. And the desperate attempt of the Gremlins to get themselves level 20. Is that gonna be what changes things? Well, I guess we'll find out. There's the attack at the bottom. They are forced into a fight. They don't want this one. 4 versus 4, but Dequaza will be back in a moment. We'll give them the numbers advantage. Nano is low. Nano is dead. Ana is gone too. And this is disaster striking. Leo respawns. They go for simply... Everybody has level 20 talents right now, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's a 5 versus 3. And the blue team is going to clean this up. Are they going to lose heroes in the process, though? That's the question. Last right's not successful for Malthael. He's dead. Buys back. And they also lost Varian. Can they go for core? They're certainly going to try. 18 kills, 2-9. And now the move. They want the victory. They want to try and climb in the leaderboard. This win would help them a lot. Everybody's dead except for Malthael and Samoro. They're trying the best they can, but it's a tough battle for them, and they're not making it. No, they're not. Malthael is gone, so are the hopes of the Gremlins, and Exodia takes the 3rd map in the series. They take Infernal Shrines and win it with Probius. Nicely done, GG, and well played.